Okay, as you finish up, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm Bob Westbrook. I'm the chairman of your Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce, and one of the great pleasures that I have is to preside over this wonderful function. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today Dr. Marty Crawford, our Superintendent of Schools for Tyler Independent School District. Dr. Crawford joined Tyler ISD as superintendent on August 19, 2014. Crawford holds a Bachelor of Education from Baylor University, a Master's of Education from the University of Oklahoma, and a Doctorate of Education Administration from Texas A&M Commerce. He's worked with West ISD, Dallas ISD, Hurst Euless Bedford ISD, Highland Park ISD, and Oklahoma City Public Schools. Dr. Crawford has held various professional positions at the high school, middle school, and elementary school levels. Crawford currently serves on the Texas Education Commissioner's Accountability Policy Advisory Committee. He was named an ambassador for the School of Education at Texas A&M Commerce, a Life Changer finalist by National Life, and an ambassador for the Friends of Texas Public Schools. Dr. Crawford and his wife, Alana, are proud parents of 3 children who all attend Tyler schools. 2 daughters, Ashton, who's a nursing student at Tyler Junior College, and AJ, who's in kindergarten at Dr. Brian C. Jack Elementary School, and 1 son, Jackson, who attends Three Lakes Middle School. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Marty Crawford.
Thank you, Reverend Hager, board. Always amazed by y'all's ability to pray. Y'all are we have some professional clergy around here that can deliver pretty good prayer. From Reverend Hager to Reverend Mason to Rabbi Katz. It is East Texas, and we love that about that. If you're ever interested, come to a board meeting. We kind of have a contest going on about who can deliver the best prayer. So we kind of have pray-offs amongst that group, and it's pretty impressive. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce. I have 15 minutes to deliver this. Many of you have heard me speak before. That's going to be tough for me. I'm a talker, modeled after my mama, who was a reading teacher at Lindale Primary a long time ago. So I'll try to get to the important thing today, and that's honoring our distinguished alums, Senator Eltife, Lonnie Ezell, and certain Reverend Mason. So we'll try to get to that as quick as possible, because I think that's the most important part of today, celebrating the great people that we have as Tyler ISD graduates. President Westbrook, I appreciate your leadership of the Chamber, along with past President Charles Hill. Y'all have been great to me during my first 15 months here. Tom Mullins with the Chamber. He acts like he doesn't like when I brag on him, but I grew up in East Texas, and I remember Tyler, Texas. And the progress that we've made as a community, certainly a lot of leadership in this room has been a part of that, but Tom being here for over 20 plus years has really made Tyler the viable community that it is now, and that it will be for the future. So thank you, Tom. And then Henry Bell. Henry, thank you so much for your promotion of me this time around. Last year, it was like a carpet bombing of a really bad picture of me going out to email. So I think you put a better picture on there this time, and thank you for promoting this, because it obviously worked, and we have a lot of folks in here today. Thank you, Tyler, the capital of the East Texas Republic. I love saying that, because we do things a little differently down here. We don't really care about what Washington, D.C. says, or, sorry, representatives and Senator Eltife in the room, what Austin says. We care about what Tyler and what Smith County and what people that have a pine cone that fall in their zip code care about. So excited to be back in Tyler, and been here for 15 months myself. My family's been here for just a little bit over a year. We moved them down here last Halloween of all days. We moved all of our stuff in, and the Halloween night we were trick-or-treating with what was in our 5-year-old in Cambridge Bend. And so we have had a great reception here in Tyler, Texas. It's everything that I have expected it to be and more. And it's because of the people here, people in this room and others that aren't here that have made this transition for my family, at least for me, to what I consider home in East Texas, coming back, and it's made that very comfortable. You talked about my family. We're so proud that we're in it. We're in Tyler, from kindergarten all the way to nursing school at that brand new facility over at TJC. We didn't know if the oldest would actually make it down here. In fact, whenever we made it our idea, she was like, "I'm not coming to Tyler." And all it took was one opportunity to meet Dr. Johnson, Dr. Metke, and Dr. Mejia at TJC. And she came home. She goes, "Dad, I think I might come down here and go to nursing school." The other one was Baylor. So my wallet did a little dance whenever she said that. So what has the superintendent of schools been up to since the last time we all talked? Over 500 opportunities to interact with the community or with large groups or individuals. So been a pretty busy guy. But again, like I said, talking is kind of my job, and interacting with people and having relationships with folks is my job. So every chance I've had, I've been able to take advantage of that, either going to Friday night football games or basketball games or Greece or Oklahoma, or concerts or speech and debate matches, chamber events, individual meetings. I've been able to do that. We've had formal and informal meetings with great parents of our students. Not always pleasant, but that's part of the job. But just like the criticism on bad weather days, that's just something that's in my contract. With all the moisture that we're getting right now, a month from now, I'm sure y'all are going to have a little fun with me and having to make those determinations of whether or not we're going to go to school or not. So thank you, El Nino, and it's going to be a fun winter. My favorite thing, of course, I'm an educator. My most enjoyable experience is getting to know our students, and whether it be following John Tyler to the state semifinals last year, and they're having another good year this year, or seeing great kids, young men actually, like Joshua Bias go to the University of Alabama and be one of their top scholars in their whatever their top scholar program is, and then someone like Will Arnold, who is at the U.S. Naval Academy right now. I can't wait to buy him dinner. There's Thorndike Lewis. Hey, man, how are you? There you go. All right. I don't know why I saw you. But seeing Will Arnold, I'm going to get a chance to take him out to dinner here. I have a trip planned to Annapolis this summer with my son, and I can't wait to see him and see what his experience was like at the Naval Academy and see how that related to his preparation at Robert E. Lee High School. Appreciate the opportunities to tell our story in the media. I was forewarned or said, hey, this is a good tool for you. A resource was, you've got 4 television stations down here and a great newspaper, and they're going to tell it all. And so some of it's been fun and some of it not so fun, but we certainly want to be transparent and make sure that you guys are knowing what's going on within our schools. Special acknowledgement to the Tyler Morning Telegraph, and I've told this to them and others, but Allison, Betty, y'all do a good job of being fair and balanced, and so in saying that, I think you're holding us accountable, and you report what's supposed to be reported, whether the good or the bad. So I want to make sure that we said that. Our school board was introduced earlier. We've been working hard, trying to develop a relationship as a new superintendent, so that we can maybe have a go at this and maybe have some longevity in the superintendent's position. And we've done some good work so far. We've rebooted a successful initiative that was used here, I guess, during Mr. Bergfeld's first term. I can't believe I'm saying that about his first time there. He actually signed back up for a second go-around. Glutton for punishment. Mr. Vickery's here as well. Ms. Baldwin's here as well. But the Center for the Reform of School Systems was something that this school district used during Dr. David Simmons' tenure here, which was a pretty successful tenure here. And so that was one thing that we really wanted to do to see if we could change the way that we were conducting the leadership and the governance of our schools so that we could really make our schools something that the community could be proud of, and that is having high-achieving schools, not worrying about the things that are not just worrying about the things at the governance level or the administration level that kind of get you into that rut and that quagmire of bogging your system down. So there's a little bit of reform, governance, and action. There's a couple of buzzwords for you there. That we're really trying to relook at our policy, how we act, how we report as an administration to the board. I think a lot of folks like to think that the board works for the administration, but that's not the case. They are the trustees of the school district. I report to them. We work for them. So we're trying to get that fixed where we can have some longevity here within our administration. Been very amazed at the support and attention in the right way to Tyler Public Schools. Mayor Hines and City Manager Ed Broussard and the city. It's been a great 15 months of induction for me. Everything from the school zones to the upcoming quarterly planning sessions that we're going to have to the solid relationships with the Tyler Police Department and the Tyler Fire Department. So thank you for that. The county Judge Joel Baker and Sheriff Larry Smith, they have a tough charge, obviously, but are supportive of our mission to educate children. I want to thank them for that. The Chamber of Commerce, y'all have done a great job, and Christy Califf, Executive Director of the Business Education Council, along with the Tyler Area Partnership for Education. Those are some things that are happening in high-performing school districts in combination with their Chamber of Commerce and their municipalities that make a community such as Tyler sustainable throughout generations, and we're doing those best practices. The growing School is Cool event that we had over here with thousands of backpacks given to kids that can't afford that, haircuts and shots and immunizations, along with other vendors providing them. That event is amazing. It's almost outgrown Harvey Hall, and I don't know where else we're going to have the dang thing. And I think they had to spill over into here. So, Dr. Mabry, we may be talking to you about the Ornelas, or your gym, your big coliseum over there. FAFSA Super Saturday, those are some great things that we're doing, trying to get kids registered to be able to qualify for scholarships. I think a lot of times we don't like giving the federal government any more information than we have to. I've done FAFSA twice, and I'm sure I'll do it a third time for my daughter. They've already got that information anyway. It's just your IRS information, so I don't know why we make a big deal about it, but that's a great thing. Don't get me started. Smitty Root and Leadership Tyler and Catalyst 100 program. These are some great things that are in support of our children and the promotion of Tyler Independent School District. Our intercollegiate relationships are second to none. It's phenomenal that we've got 20,000 college students in Tyler, Texas. And you can feel it traffic-wise, can't you? When they come back in August and you start having a hard time getting up and down Broadway, you know they're back. And that's a great thing because of the relationships that we actually have between the higher educational institutions and our public school district. Texas College and Dr. Fennell, we've got student teaching and practicum experiences along with tutoring in our schools. UT Tyler and Dr. Mabry, along with some of his others, folks that work with him. We have a lot of after-school enrichment from UT Tyler, our classroom research, teacher education, and something I'm excited about, and that's a bilingual school administrator development program. We understand that the state of Texas is changing. We also understand that our demographics in Tyler, Texas are changing, and we need bilingual leadership. There's no doubt about it. I appreciate UT Tyler and going forward on that. Our TJC relationships are well documented with Dr. Medke. Early college high school, which will possibly give an opportunity for a student to receive their associate's degree before they actually walk across the stage with their high school diploma, is something that's been extremely effective in South Texas, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity and a great story in East Texas as well. We've got the CT Center and the TJC West Campus. Those partnerships they're in their fledgling year right now. So this is the first year, and I think that Dr. Sharp's over there shaking his head. He knows that the potential is exponential there between the relationship and the location of what I call our choice zone. Within a square mile or less, you've got early college, high school, our RISE program, we'll talk about that in a minute, and our CT center. So when I've talked to the mayor about, hey, what do you think about more Hispanic and African American firefighters and police officers? That's the location. That's where we can really take care of Tyler, Texas, to make sure that our public servant force matches our population, our demographic. Our ancillary support, from the formal with Marvin Methodist adoption of Bonner Elementary School to Green Acres Baptist, involvement with Dixie and other elementary schools. We have faith-based organizations and groups and churches around every corner here in Tyler, Texas. And y'all are starting to realize the impact that y'all can have with our student population. Many of you, I've talked about some of the social decay that we have to combat in our schools, and we're really not that equipped to handle, to be honest with you. They try to, they want schools to be everything to everyone, but our main thing that we're trying to do is teaching and learning. And so we need the help from these groups to help us fight some of the social decay that is invading not only our schools, but every school that there is. To the informal relationships that we have, like calling Reverend Ralph Caraway and St. Louis Baptist Care of Children and Parents in the St. Louis community, and some of the great things that they do to help their congregation and other congregants or other congregations with providing meals and clothes for their community. That helps our school district. People like Ed Moore. Mr. Moore is here today, who keeps us all reminded, right, Mr. Mayor, about the importance to revitalize the Gentry Parkway corridor. It hadn't been brought up, but unknowingly to most, that plays into the future success of our schools. So thank you for your leadership on that. Men like Gilbert Urbina and Price Arredondo, who realize and provide accessibility to the valuable resources that we have in our Hispanic community. We've kind of reached out, tried to engage the Hispanic community throughout the years, being a large portion of our school district. But we're starting to see some authentic success and some authentic engagement amongst that community. We have philanthropic-minded people like the Caldwell family, or men like Billy Hibbs and his unwavering support of making John Tyler High School a great school. And y'all know Billy, but when I first met Mr. Hibbs, I just kind of had to see what he was about. But after spending a year with him, he's genuine, and he does care about John Tyler High School, and had an event with him last night, and it was great to see him. Rick Rayford and Brookshire's Grocery Company. There's not a municipality or a group in this community that can't go to, maybe not Rick, but can't go to Brookshire Grocery Company and ask them to help with something. And thank you for doing that. It really does help our school district whenever you're engaged like you are. John Tyler grad as well. John Tyler Lion football player as well too, right? There you go. Okay, good. He said a long time ago. I didn't think so. Finally, a substantial recognition goes to our campus PTAs and the district's council of PTAs. They are can-do community members, much like Tyler Proud, who want the best for Tyler children. They also understand the value in having quality, high-performing public schools, and we are certainly proud to have all portions of our community engaged here. A few updates. Bond 2013 construction projects update. We had 6 sites. CT Center, which is that's the community's baby right there. I tell you what, it is. It's a neat place. If you haven't been there yet, come on over. And I want you to come while we're actually providing instruction. I think people have been able to go over there while there's not school going on, but come see it in action. I think that's where the rubber meets the road, and you're going to see some great things coming out of there. Three Lakes Middle School, Bolter Middle School, Moore Middle School, Dixie Elementary School, and our beloved Rice. And y'all know this. There's a generation of y'all that are here that Rice Hubbard Lee, Rice Hubbard Lee, Rice Hubbard Lee. Everyone loves Rice. And to be honest with you, there's been people in my chair that have fallen on swords about not handling some situations to the liking of the community. But we made Rice into a great little school. The reboot of Rice is phenomenal. We provided some Dogan Middle School and Hubbard Middle School upgrades. The Hog Portables. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Because I have been booed the same time when I say that. Senator Eltoff, I mean, you drive up and down there. Your office is kind of that way. So I'm glad to see that the school district has been able to fulfill its commitment, and we're getting it done before Christmas to remove those portables. You know what's strange about that is I went back and looked at some data. Those portables, along with the capacity of the building, would actually have served 1,000 students. But Hogs never had more than about 600 kids over there. So, you know, we've just kind of given in to teachers or directors or whatever. Every time we had a program upgrade and somebody said, we're just so crowded over here, we just give them another portable. So, educators, you know, I mean, superintendents, whatever. I'm glad that we're able to do that. We're excited about some equity adjustments, little thing, at Hubbard, Hogg, and Dogan. We're actually going to put some 3-lane tracks there for those children. I know some of you Hubbard parents and Hubbard graduates understand that we've got a little bit of inequity here now. We've got the brand new buildings. We still have our 3 traditional buildings as well, but we want to give those kids an opportunity and those communities an opportunity to go out there and walk around a track a little bit. So very inexpensive project here. Hopefully that's, if the board acts on that, chooses to approve that, we could possibly, no pressure, we could possibly have a track in place at those 3 campuses, hopefully by March 1st. Pretty neat deal. The bond budget, we're well within budget. Comfortable to say that I think we programmed it well enough to where we're under budget, within budget, that we're at least $5 million under budget, if not more. Not willing to actually give that number, so hopefully it comes in at that. We can under-promise and maybe over-deliver on that number. But you do have some folks in the school district that kind of are behind the scenes that have done a great job in managing that program. And Tim Loper and Tasha Bjork are the best double play combination in East Texas when it comes to building programs. They're conservative and they're common sense individuals. I know there's some people in East Texas think that we quote unquote built Taj Mahals, but take our buildings and how functional they are, how sustainable they're going to be over the long term, and compare to the Taj Mahals that are being built in Frisco and the Metroplex and the Houston area, and I think you'll see that you got a pretty good bang for your buck on our buildings. So we didn't overbuild. I think we appropriately built them, and Tim Loper and Tasha Bjork are certainly 2 people that we can champion. There you go. You know, I've said this about Tasha. Yeah, she's going to duck her head down. She doesn't like it when I acknowledge her. But I think you've got a prize here. And, you know, here in East Texas, we have certain values and expectations, and you've got a common sense conservative there, a fiscal conservative that is taking care of your tax dollars. So, Tasha, thank you for all you do. Does everybody know what Tasha looks like? Stand up, Tasha. There you go. Okay. She hates that. Demographics and programming, you know, we're up 150 to 200 students this year. It was reported in the paper. I think it was around 150. You know, kind of at the ebb and flow of being a large school district like we have. Sometimes, you know, you'll have a little influx of kids transferring to Winona or Chapel Hill during the middle of the year. Then all of a sudden you get a wave come in. So that's kind of the range that we're in right now. We've also opened up our boundaries. We accept transfers from out of district as well. We are very protective about that. We have a rubric of what those students have to meet to be able to do that. So we want to make sure that we're protecting your tax dollars and your school's performance by making sure that we're allowing kids to come in from outside as well. Of course, the privates, we've actually had some come back. We've lost some, and that's just kind of the natural ebb and flow of things as well. So and we've had move-ins. You know, Smith County's growing, and people are choosing Tyler ISD along with the other great opportunities that we have here, because we do have a lot of school choice in Tyler, Texas. From the charters to the privates to public, we it's competitive. And that is our main emphasis, is to compete. Not to whine about it, not to criticize, but to compete. I mentioned CT Center, I mentioned Early College High School, the RISE Academy. That's going to get more publicity as we go on, because it's something that was in the strategic plan that we needed to provide some more choice for some of our at-risk kids. It's not a disciplined school. It's not a school where the bad kids go. Now, sure, some of those students may have a disciplined history because they don't fit into the normal comprehensive environment to where you go to a very, very, very structured 9-period day or 8-period day, and then you go to the Friday night football game. There is a pocket of students out there that don't fit into that model, and we've really worked hard to develop the RISE program. It's the former PACE program that used to be located on the north side of town. Well, we've repurposed that location and that program over there at A.T. Stewart Academy. Early College High School's on one side, the RISE Academy is on the other side. Last year, I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but I'm an open book. Last year, we finished the school year with approximately 15 to 20 students in that program with a staff of about 8 to 10. Taxpayers, let that soak into your head about how we were efficiently using our dollars. This year, same staff. How many kids, Mr. Sanchez? 160 kids are in that program. That is a program to where a child may be behind in their credits. More than likely, they are behind in their credits. They haven't been coming to school. They may be pregnant. They may already have kids. They may be the sole provider for their family. They may be a student and then have to go work just to help as well. And just frankly, they may not fit into that program or into a normal comprehensive program. But to say that we've gone from that to where we're at now, and to have 5 students already complete their graduation requirements, testing and everything now, and then hopefully another, what? By January? Another 25 by January is something that's going to be extremely valuable for this community. What's the maximum capacity for that? Who knows? I know that the strategic planning group wanted to say there's 250 or there's 500. I don't think there's a magic number because it is a specialized program. It's not for every student, but it sure can help some of those kiddos that are at risk of finishing. And we're not finished. Now, on the horizon, still want to provide an opportunity for tuition-based pre-K opportunities for middle-class families. It was big for me and my wife whenever our son, who's now in 8th grade, was able to do that. You know, we didn't qualify for pre-K or Head Start, early childhood, but as a teacher, and she was working for AT&T at that time, making about what a teacher makes. We wanted to get our kids into public schools. For one, it was a viable option from daycare. For all you daycare people in here, don't zing me for that. So in saying that, we want to make sure that we try to, hopefully we can pilot one on the north side of town, one in Midtown, and then one on the south end of town, so that middle-class families can also have an option. That's all we're asking for, is an option. We're not trying to take them out of the home and do anything or not anything like that. So we're trying to give people an option if that's something they want to do. Spanish immersion programs. We've got some Anglo monolingual families, only English, that are taking advantage of some of the dual language opportunities that we have here, like at Birdwell Elementary School. I think a Spanish immersion program, much like what Hershey's Bedford Schools and Grand Prairie ISD are doing, are kind of the wave. I wish my own kids would have been able to go through something like that. So that's something that's on the horizon for us. Hope you give us a shot. Academic and fiscal accountability and what the future looks like for Tyler ISD. Senator Eltife, we're not going to be a district, and I'm not going to be a superintendent that whines about accountability and school finance. So it is what it is. We're going to try to make the best of I know that's something different right there. Whatever the game is, we're going to try to compete within what the rules of the game are. So we're not going to spend our time talking about this. We're going to spend our time taking care of Tyler students. So have high, impeccable standards in whatever we do, whether it be fiscal stewardship. We've got Tasha here to help us along the way, and academic performance and the conditions of our facilities, whether new or old. We're going to take care of them, and our instruction and our leadership behavior. Academically and instructionally this year, our mantra has been tradition will get you beat. There's a lot of great traditions in Tyler, Texas and East Texas. But there's some things that we have been doing that I frankly consider that are malpractice. We are no longer going to play school in our chronically underperforming schools, and instead not only believe that all children can learn, but actually have actions that match. This standard is starting to pay dividends. And what I mean by that, playing school, I think a lot of times that school districts that have some poverty in their school districts have the thought that, well, it's better than them staying at home, or at least they're coming to me because I'm going to love on them and we're going to provide 2 meals a day and a safe place for them to go to school. That's the basic expectation. That can't be what we're all about. It's the teaching and learning part that our kids, every kid, deserves the best. And I'm hoping that shift in culture is going to pay dividends. And it already is. Nationally, the achievement gap remains. We have a lot of work to do. If you take, and I'm speaking nationally now, I'm not speaking locally. If you take these demographics, the Anglo student, the African American student, and the Hispanic student, the Anglo student, if they were not to grow any in performance on nationally normed assessments like the NAEP or something, compared to their African American and Hispanic cohorts, to improve the achievement gap in reading, if the Anglo students did not improve, it would take 60 years for the African American kids to catch the Anglo kids. 60. That's if we didn't move at all. It takes 71 years for the Hispanic students to catch them. In mathematics, 0 years of Anglo growth. In other words, it stayed flat. It would take 96 years for the African American student to catch them, and 111 years for the Hispanic student. We have a challenge ahead of us, and we have to work on eliminating the achievement gap. We're no different, but we are moving the ball down the field. We've had some early wins. Dixie Elementary and Bolter Middle School are off the list. They were year 1 improvement required last year, and they had great years last year. Half of our recovery schools, we have 9 of them, are just a few students away from overcoming the label that is so detrimental to schools that serve children in poverty. So I'm hoping that we're going to come back next year and be able to report to you that we've been able to recover those schools. We redesigned our org chart. We blend to a blend of traditional structure and leadership that works, in other words, local here. Abandoned some that didn't, some of the things that we were doing that weren't helping students, and then inject some new leadership and maybe even some structure that has the experience and energy to take some of our challenges. It's proud for me to introduce 2 new administrators to Tyler ISD, and this is a good time to do it. But we actually have hired a couple of folks from the Metroplex. Don't criticize me for trying to Dallasize everything, because I'm not. But these are good people that care about kids and care about at-risk kids. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Raleigh Sanchez. And Mr. Ron Jones. We have 6 new principals this year. From Bobby Markle to Bonner Elementary, to Brandon Chandler and Vanessa Holmes at Griffin and Dogan. These leaders are on fire for students. They're on fire for students, and they're on fire for academic achievement and parent engagement. They're not just playing school. So if you're out in the community and you hear your neighbor grocery shopping or while you're mowing the lawn and they're complaining about some of our new leadership, they're complaining about me. Because I think that the changes that we made were to get people in place that are about student achievement, about kids performing academically. That's what y'all want. Y'all don't want us to be reported in the paper that we have 9 schools of improvement required. So they're very serious about that. And I wanted to make sure to publicly acknowledge them because they're doing great. I know I'm over my 15 minutes, dadgummit. Our total African American and Hispanic graduation rates surpass regional and state averages, sometimes by as much as 6 to 8%. We don't tell the good stuff. All we talk about is the improvement required campuses, but we're really working our way, and against their peers, we're actually outperforming them. Same for high school end of course exams, where our African American and Hispanic students are outpacing their peers regionally, in some cases the state, in the algebra, biology, and U.S. history assessments. It may take some of our schools a while to get there, but I think we're proving that we are moving the ball down the field, and if we can get our elementary schools going in the right direction, we're going to have a great story to tell in Tyler, Texas. As you can see, we're competing thanks to those of y'all in this room and many, many others not here today. Appreciate you allowing me to provide my state of the district. Here in a moment, we're going to celebrate distinguished alumni of the district. However, before we get there, I would like to take the opportunity to champion our 2014-2015 Community Partner of the Year and invite Henry Bell here to help me present that. Okay. Thank you. I'd like to listen to what Henry tells you to do, and it's usually right. We are extremely fortunate to have a growing base of community partners who are dedicated to providing Tyler ISD students with the best education possible. They're helping meet our students' educational and personal needs. The Mentoring Alliance is a true example of how hard work, dedication, purpose, and a genuine love of children all comes together to foster student achievement. The Mentoring Alliance is a faith-centered and intentionally multi-ethnic ministry that operates through 3 mentoring ministries: Boys and Girls Club in East Texas, which I think is the only faith-based Boys and Girls Club in the nation, which provides fun and enriching after-school programs; Gospel Village, which provides a one-on-one volunteer mentoring program that connects godly, adult volunteer mentors from local area churches with students from targeted local area schools and mutually transforming their lives. And something I'm excited about is Rose City Summer Camps, which we're going to really ramp that up beginning this summer, which is an engaging and educational summer camp program that serves their mission, but at the same time helps us with the summer slide, the academic slide that so many times happens in your schools of poverty. And Tyler ISD Gospel Village currently serves in 6 schools where 138 mentors serve 136 students. 25 more are in the process of being matched and will be matched before Christmas. Additionally, through the Gospel Friends program, volunteers help provide continued support to campus staff on a daily basis. The Boys and Girls Clubs are currently integrated in 11 different Tyler ISD schools, and the Rose City Summer Camps served approximately 185 students throughout the summer, and we're looking to expand that. Over the past few years, we've seen tremendous impact the Mentoring Alliance has had on our campuses and students. This is why we are honored to present the 2014-2015 Community Partner of the Year Award to the guy, or not the guy, to Mentoring Alliance. And I guess the guy that's going to come up and receive this is the guy that I used to know as Opie from Pine Cove. My kids did. And that's Kevin East, Mentoring Alliance. Deal. Sure. Deal. Let's go.
Congratulations, Kevin, and the Mentoring Alliance. And thank you, Marty, for your great presentation. I actually got some chills up and down my spine, particularly when you mentioned the portables going away at Hogg Middle School, or as Hogg Junior High as I knew it. It reminded me of the days when the first time I drove by and those portables were gone, all I could think about was my football coach, the late C.C. Pinky Baker, I can't tell you what he was screaming, but he was screaming at me to run up and down those fields. So now I get to remember that every time I drive back and forth. But seriously, I love it. Dawn will tell you, I texted her, I said, we need to have a celebration. The portables are gone. So thank you very much for that. The TISD Distinguished Alumni Recognitions were started about a year ago as a project of TISD Foundation, TISD, and the Business Education Council. Nominations are received each year, and a selection committee selects the distinguished alumni for that year. The presentations are made each fall at this membership luncheon of the Chamber, the state of the district. This year's honorees are certainly deserving of the title Distinguished Alumni. Since this award is only a year old, you can imagine how many distinguished alumni there are that have graduated from TISD. And I think I would not be incorrect by saying that these three recipients this year could probably not be more distinguished than anybody that will ever be selected in the future. That's pretty brave. But anyway, I really think they are. This is a tremendous class. They all three, of course, graduated from TISD, but at a time when TISD and our whole community was experiencing an extreme amount of change and growth. And I think personally that these three, because they graduated at that time and were at those schools at that time, matured quicker and became the leaders they are today and serve the Tyler-Smith County area and beyond. The first person we'll recognize, Reverend Arinthia Mason. She attended T.J. Austin, Mamie Griffith Elementary Schools, Dogan Junior High, and graduated from Emmett Scott. And if I'm correct, the last graduating class of Emmett Scott High School. She then went on and graduated from Texas College, and she serves as Director of Alumni Affairs for Texas College and pastor of the St. James Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. And she is chair of the Central Texas Region Joint Board of Finance. She is also a member of the General Connectional Board of the CME Church, the Smith County Appraisal District Board, the Leadership Roundtable, Catalyst 100, and of course the TISD School Board of Trustees, where she has served as president in the past. She is also a volunteer for the chaplain of the Smith County Sheriff's Department. Please help me recognize 2015 Distinguished Alum, Arinthia Mason.
When I received my phone call to announce that I would be one of the recipients, actually tears came from my eyes. I do what I do because my mother taught us to serve. From the time I was a Girl Scout to a top teen of America to the various occupations, especially when Dr. Jim Vaughn demanded that I become a part of Leadership Tyler Class 2. Yes, he did. Amen. And I'm thankful for all of these men and women, many of you are here today, who helped to shape and mold my life, beginning with my mother. I do what I do because I love what I do. It is an honor to serve a community of great people. And like Henry has said, I lived in some of the most challenging of times. But I would like to think that those times made me who I am today. You were taught you must be better than the best just to be considered average. I didn't want to be considered average because we had a mother who told us we would learn, we would be on honor roll, you will do this. It was not an option. And so failure was not an option. Tyler ISD made me who I am today, and I'm thankful for that. All of us can say we graduated, ready to go out into the world to make a difference. I am honored to be honored with Senator Eltife and Mr. Uziel. Mr. Uziel I've met later in life, but Senator Eltife and I became friends some years ago. and he and I were partners in crime at some point in time. But the crime was to do good in the city of Tyler. So whenever he was leading something, he would call and ask, and I was more than excited to be able to assist. At that time, you were in different positions, but everything you've done with distinction, and the same with Mr. Uziel. I am thankful, Mr. Bell, and to our school district. I love it. I love Tyler ISD with a passion. And when I leave from serving on the Tyler ISD Board of Trustees, I will be a loyal, dedicated, faithful citizen who will do everything that I can to make Tyler ISD a better place. I also want to thank my chairman of the trustee board who is here today, Mr. Thorndike Lewis, and his wife, Linda, for supporting me, and the man who hired me at Texas College, Dr. Willie Champion. My twin brother is here today. I know you all thought it was just me, but I really do have a twin. My older brother is here, but we have death in our family. Many of you know Constable Jackson's brother is deceased, and he and I are first cousins. So while this great celebration is going on, there is also a celebration where we are eulogizing him. Thank you for all you do. Thank all of you for supporting me. And whatever you need me to do, call, and I will be there. Thank you.
Lonnie Uziel attended Douglas Elementary School, Roberts Junior High, and graduated from John Tyler High School. He then attended Tyler Junior College and graduated from the University of Texas at Austin. He currently serves as Executive Vice President of Southside Bank, where he's been since 1981. Mr. Uziel volunteers on many boards and committees throughout the community. He has served as President of the Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce, the Tyler Junior College Board of Trustees, the Texas Rose Festival Association, the Tyler Rose Museum, the East Texas State Fair, Parks of East Texas, Cancer Life Foundation, and Willowbrook Country Club. Those are just the ones he's been president of. Then he has served on many other boards of many other organizations and currently serves as the chairman of the Tyler Economic Development Council. In 1987, Mr. Uziel was awarded the W.C. Windsor Award and received the Valuable Young Alumni Award from Tyler Junior College in 1997. Distinguished Alum 2015, Lonnie Uziel.
Thank you. I'll only say a few words. I had a lot to say about the facilities, but our superintendent, Dr. Crawford, has covered that pretty well. So I'll just say to the school board, what we need to do is get Dr. Crawford under a long-term contract. I love his enthusiasm and his willingness to do the right thing, and he certainly is on track to do all that. And I know he wants to say this, and he says it a lot to the people that are around him. We have new facilities, but we also have a group of teachers and administrators that are on the same mission that I think the school board has put them on. We have a school board right now that are a bunch of doers, and we're getting things done that have needed to be done for a long time. And I appreciate that. I've been married to one of those that worked in the classroom for 34 years, and I want to thank her for being here today. My wife and best supporter, Kelly Uziel. Will you stand up? I also want to thank everybody that's been involved with me over my lifetime. My time in TISD is certainly time that I cherish and built relationships that have lasted me my whole lifetime. Not only students, Mr. Rayford, who wasn't only a football player, he was a good football player, and he was a pretty good quarterback, for no better than we were in those days. We we thank Earl Campbell for making us famous, but he came along after us. We tried to get him eligible in the 8th grade so he could play for us, but we couldn't get him there, but we loved to have had him. So we appreciate that, and Rick and I suffered through some of those times together, and I certainly am proud to be a part of this group, and I want to thank each one of you today in this room. I know there are several here that are probably more deserving than me, but I'm honored to be part of this today and certainly appreciate everyone, teachers, coaches, people that I work with at Southside Bank. And I also want to say that I work at a bank that 55 years ago, a little over 55 years ago, opened a location in Tyler, Texas, and one of their commitments was that they were going to support the communities they serve. We still hold that same promise today, and TISD is certainly deserving of having that support, and we try to do that as much as we can. So thank you all for being here. Thanks. This is quite an honor. I certainly will cherish this and look forward to the many things that we'll do in the future. Thanks very much.
Okay. Anybody have any extra awards in the back of their pocket or anything? Tyler Trophy is just right down the street, don't we? I think it's okay, but anyway, okay. Last but not least, Senator Kevin Eltife attended St. Gregory Elementary School, Hogg Junior High, and is a graduate of Robert E. Lee High School and the University of Texas at Austin. He was elected in 2004 to represent the citizens of Senate District 1 and previously served on the Tyler City Council and as mayor of the city of Tyler. Senator Eltife is active in his community and has volunteered his time and energy for a variety of organizations, including the East Texas Food Bank, the Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce, Hospice of East Texas, and many more. But what he's done in Austin, he has received the Freedom to Teach Award by the Association of Texas Professional Educators and was also named Champion for Free Enterprise in 2005 by the Texas Association of Business. In 2007, the Texas Municipal League named him the Legislator of the Year, and in 2011, the Texas Association of Realtors gave him a Hall of Fame award, and he received an honorable mention from the Texas Monthly Magazine. In 2014, the Texas Press Association gave Eltife the Friend of the First Amendment Award, and in 2015, this year, he received the Tyler Junior College Spirit Award, the Tyler Rotary Community Excellence Award, and the Business Free Enterprise Award from the Longview Chamber. He was also named Top 10 Legislator by Texas Monthly for the 2015 legislative session. Nobody is more distinctive alum than Kevin Eltife. 2015 Alumni Recognition, Kevin Eltife.
Thank you, Henry, very much, and thank all of you. I don't know what happened to going in alphabetical order. Now I have to follow Orinthia and Lonnie. And as Marty mentioned, I'll be brief because he took up all our time. I know the comment has been made about those being Taj Mahals, but there's nothing I'm more proud of in this city than driving by one of the new TISD facilities. You can call them what you want, but they're incredible, and we're going to build more of them. There's nothing more important in this community than public education. And every dollar spent at the state and federal level is worth every dime for what we put in public education. We have not put enough in, and we have to fight for every penny, and we'll continue to fight for more. I want to share this award with my wife. Kelly is here today. You know, it's easy for me to stand up and get an award, but the truth is, the past 23 years I've served in public office, she's done all the work raising the two hoodlums. We have the two boys, so I want to thank Kelly for all your hard work. There's two reasons I am so proud of receiving this award, and I mean this. Most people give me awards just so I have to show up and put a tie on. But there's the real reason I'm most proud of this than any other award I've ever gotten, and it's these two reasons. One, because of the two people I'm receiving it with. There are no two people in this community that I admire and respect and love more than Orinthia Mason and Lonnie Uzel. I have worked side by side with them for the last 30 years, all of us working together to make this a better community, doing our small part. And Orinthia has a little different version than I remember. What I remember is Orinthia calling me, barking orders as to what I needed to do on the city council and mayor. And whatever she said, I did. And maybe that's part of the reason for my success. The second reason I'm so excited and honored to receive this award is because I am TISD. I am a product of public education. My father died when I was a year and a half old. I was raised on Social Security and veterans benefits by my mother, who passed away about 5 or 6 years ago. She is responsible for my success. How she made it work, I will never know. But she didn't do it alone. It was this community. It was Miss Lacroix, my science teacher at Hogg, who paid money out of her pocket to help me with my science project. I've never forgotten her. It was Jimmy Hayes, my coach. When my uncle died, it was like my second father. And I went to Hogg, and I was, a basket case. And Coach Wilson, he was a little short coach. I couldn't stand him. But he was a good man. But he rode me hard. And he was riding me that day, and I think I was probably welling up in tears, and Coach Hayes took me in his office. He said, "You just spend the rest of the day in here with me, Kevin." I mean, he knew what was going on. And it was Miss Craddock who taught me and Sam Greenberg Spanish. I pray for her every night because of what she went through with me and Sam Greenberg at her class. I think about Miss Odom, Charles Ogden, Eliu Jeffrey. I don't know how many of y'all remember him. I spent more time in his office than I did in English class at Lee. And Billy Hall. I was a recipient of his paddle on several occasions. I've never forgotten them. I've never forgotten the wonderful teachers and administrators in this community. I am a product of Tyler ISD. I am a product of this community. My mother could have never done it alone. And there are a lot of single parents out there. There are a lot of low-income families out there. They need our help. The answer is public education. It's called public education because the doors are open for everyone. You don't get to pick and choose who goes to public education schools. We don't pick and choose them. It's for everyone. And we welcome that and we celebrate it. But we must fund it, we must take care of it, we must wrap our arms around it. And when we drive by those schools, we should be proud of it. So thank you for this award. It means more to me than I'll ever be able to tell you. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, Kevin just gave me the second chill up and down my back of Hogg Junior High. He gives you chills all the time, but he mentioned Ms. Lacroix. So now when I drive by Hogg, I have to remember all of those 175 rocks we had to memorize with Ms. Lacroix. Coach Becker and Ms. Lacroix, Hogg Junior High. And I think we have two more distinguished alumni today that we really should recognize, and they're the two Kellys, Kelly Uzel and Kelly Eltife. They both are graduates of the TISD. The women behind the successful men. Okay, Bob.
Wow, what a tough act to follow. Oh my gosh. In closing, each of you understand and you get it. You know that Tyler's growth and our area's growth, economic growth, is tied directly to the quality of the education systems that we have here. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for being engaged. We are adjourned.